Hi, welcome to Wake Up Woman. I hope that you guys are coming back, and this is not your first time here, but if it is your first time here, welcome to Wake Up Woman, where my heart's desire is to see you inspired, motivated, uplifted, and ready to love more with your whole heart. Having said that, we're entering one of the craziest seasons of the year. Not only is it this wrapping up time where the whole year just kind of culminates in this huge festivity, but there's all these holidays that we're celebrating, and a lot of them put a lot of pressure on us that we don't have all year long. So, I am creating a series for the month of December called Celebrating the Simplicity of the Season in 4 easy steps. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4 easy steps. So I have 4 parts that will have 4 easy steps for you. All right. Are you ready to get going? So, in the essence of simplicity, you will know that I blog. So I would normally write things out, but just for the sheer sake of simplicity, we're skipping that part, doing only vlogs for the month of December. For me, that was a real challenge because I've been having trouble vlogging. It was easier for me to write. But there's something really simple and organic and connective about doing the vlogs, and I wanted to show you that and offer you that from myself to you as a way of, I want to keep it simple and I want to keep it real and fresh. And even for myself as a challenge, just a really simple challenge for myself to just make things easy, Tracy. Just do it simply. So here I am doing the thing that's simple and coming at you with a vlog. I'm going to try to keep these videos as short as possible, but I tend to be a little bit long-winded, so just bear with me. Okay, so step 1 during week 1, which is purposeful simplicity. Gosh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Purposeful simplicity. So that's what I want us to focus on this week. It's just being really simple with our purposes. So, what do I mean by that? Well, there is a lot of things grabbing for our attention, whether it's shopping list or it's programs that are going on, or there's office parties and your checking account. There's a lot of things that are just arguing about trying to keep us distracted from probably the things that really matter the most to us. So my suggestion to you for this week is just keep things simple on purpose. Well, how do you do that? Well, that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. Okay, so step 1, we're going to get it really, really simple. I want you to pick one word only, that just kind of resonates with you and speaks to the season for you. Maybe that word is something that you can find, written on one of those cute little pictures at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, like joy or hope or peace. I love those words. I love, love, love. Joy is a big one for me. I have signs of joy and little galvanized letters on over the house that's joy, and because to me that's something that I deeply desire, is a heart full of joy and a life full of joy. And it's not always easy for me. It's funny, sometimes the things that you really desire the most are often the hardest to obtain. So keep that in mind. But I want you to pick a word that is really, really special to you, and maybe even envelops the feeling of how you want to be throughout this season. So for example, if you traditionally struggle with being really anxious and just running around like a chicken with its head cut off, and you're going over here and going over here, and oh my gosh, the store's out of this, and then I got to go over here and do this. Maybe the word that you should focus on is exhale, or peace, or freedom. Take that word, the word that kind of encompasses the feeling that you desire to have during the next few weeks, and write it down somewhere. Put it on your refrigerator, put it on your mirror in the bathroom, put it as the screensaver on your phone, put it on a sticky note on your computer, and look at that word and remind yourself, that's the feeling that I'm trying to obtain. And because that's the feeling that I want to obtain, I'm going to try to keep going back to that. Now, does that mean you're going to be able to stay in a perpetual state of joy or bliss or freedom or pride or empowerment or blissfulness? Like, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. But what happens when you're able to focus on something really singular like that is that when all the crazy and the distraction happens, you can go back to that and say, you know what, I was feeling like this, or I was acting like this, and I don't want that. It helps you really identify what you don't want in your life and be able to go back to that one singular thing. I know a word for me right now is family. I just really want to feel family. And I know that's not a feeling, but it's something I desire so much. So when I kind of start going over this direction, it pulls me and grounds me back into a different direction. And it reminds me of what I'm looking for. What does that mean for me? And for me, when I use the word family, that to me means I feel connected. I feel that I belong somewhere. It means that I have a permanent place. So you pick your word and you post it somewhere. It's not even the most important thing to you or your number one priority. It's a feeling of what you want to maintain throughout this holiday season. And that's my challenge for you, is to maintain that one word and that feeling so that you can have this very simplistic, beautiful holiday season. All right, step number 2 is create a calendar. This sounds really simple. Simple doesn't mean easy. So simple is doing something that's really basic. And sometimes the basic things aren't always easy. A calendar. Well, I hesitate to use my beautiful mother as an example because I feel like I'm always using her example. Sorry, Mom. Okay, anyway. So every Christmas, my mom asks, so what's your favorite candy? And I'm like, Mom, it's the same as it was last year. I don't really want candy. Give me some beef jerky or some potato chips or some nuts. Like, I like salty stuff. So, now I don't mind giving her the list, but I know for my life, lists are great. And when I have a calendar going, then I don't double book myself. I don't say I can be somewhere that I cannot be because I'm already obligated to be somewhere else. I can look and spread things out. My kids are really interested in doing like going to every single parade and every single Christmas lighting, and we have to pick and choose. So looking at the calendar and being realistic about how we can spread those out, putting our work stuff on there, putting our church obligations and family obligations, and then seeing that season kind of come together and it not be all piled and jammed up on top of each other. And having that calendar, which is a great place to start for next year, is get some really great lists this year of the things that you're doing. Maybe a date where they are, maybe even websites where you found that information for. Around here we have flotillas, which is a really cool thing. If you don't know what a flotilla is, it's where the boats are lit up and they go on a parade. It's really super cool in the water. Is mark down those websites, the places where you found the information, so next year you're not searching for it. And then create a little book or binder where you put all that information is. This is just a huge bit of information that you may want to take, because I had a fantastic list. It was on single sheets of paper that the kids and I made. It was color coded. It was beautiful. and I cannot find it. It was from last year. It was so great, and I know I kept it. I don't know where it is. So now I have a little binder. It could be a composition notebook or any kind of notebook, but something where you can stick and glue stuff in or make little pockets. It can be kind of a journal. I think that's what I'm going to calling mine. I'll share more information about that maybe in a separate post, and just call it your Christmas journal, where you could even have gifts ideas, rolling shopping lists, etc. So going on in that calendar, when it gets too full, you're going to need to go to step number 3, which is just say no. Say no, people. It's okay. It's so easy. Say it with me. No, no, no. And it's even the same in multiple languages, so you should be good and have it covered. Just say no. If you don't have time, don't do it. Don't overcommit yourself. That's one of the easiest things to keep things simple. Number 4, take a time out. Push the pause button. Stop what you're doing. When things get crazy and chaotic, just pause. You don't have to keep going and going and going. See what I just did? I pushed the pause button. Pause. When things get really out of control, or they're going that direction, or maybe it's just you start feeling like there's just too much, or for example, I had a day today where I really needed to go 2 different directions. Physically, I needed to go to one town and to another town, and they were in opposite directions. And I was really struggling because of my time limitations. I only had a certain amount of time to accomplish the things that I needed to do, just running errands and getting few things checked off my list. And I literally had to pause. I had to stop, and I had to think what made the most sense. And my initial reaction was to go one direction, and when I just paused for a moment and just really thought about it and just kind of took a deep breath, I went the other way. And it all worked out great. I had enough time. We got all the things that we needed to do in that town done, and got home in enough time to get Sam back to Scouts, and everything turned out great. So number 1 for just having purposeful simplicity, number 1 is pick that one word. Number 2, create a calendar. Number 3, just say, that's right, no. And number 4, just take a time out, push the pause button, go on the sidelines for a minute, get a little bit of coaching, coach yourself a little bit, talk yourself through it, then come back to the game with a new perspective and a new way of looking at it. So next week, we're going to talk about, I'm looking at my computer because it's simple. We're going to talk about how to have simplicity and be distraction free. So if you may need a little bit of that, like I do, I get distracted really easily. So we're going to talk about how to keep it simple by keeping it distraction free. Come back, check it out, and I hope you'll check out the rest of my blog and follow us here at Wake Up Woman. Talk to you soon. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.